Today, I'm ranking every Mortal Kombat character against Omni-Man. Whoa, hold up, okay, wait a second. There's actually a good number of characters who can fold Omni-Man, so please do not skip to the end and let me explain my points in detail. Because while I do love reading comments, having to answer the same question over and over again that's explained in my video does get a bit tiring. So please just watch the video, it's not that long. Omni-Man is extremely fast, durable, and strong, which is why most characters can't beat him physically. Notice how I said most though, because some MK characters either can't die or simply refuse to stay dead, and some villains have learned ways to become literally invincible. But honestly, magic is gonna be the best weapon against Omni-Man. Several MK characters have abilities that Omni-Man is simply not ready for. But with all that said, leave a like down below for Omni-Man because I love him too. He's honestly the most interesting character in the show right now, and I've read the comics where he does even cooler stuff. So yeah, this video has me excited. Without further ado, let's begin. Alright, here we go. Let's begin with the character who can beat Omni-Man. Chronica, a character I dislike very much, but still she beats Omni-Man. She can disappear him from reality itself, she's done that to Raiden, or if she can't do that for some reason, then just rewind time and screw up Omni-Man's birth or something. Chronica can do all these things, and also is extremely durable herself. But next up is the 50-50 tier, characters who could beat Omni-Man, but he's equally likely to kill them, because they're on similar levels. I think this spot is perfect for Raiden, because while he is a god of lightning, and lightning did hurt Mark, he was getting worked by this dude. And Omni-Man is stronger, but so is Raiden. His lightning is not regular lightning, it's god level lightning, so I think it could hurt Omni-Man. And also, according to some movies and even some games, Raiden's not mortal, meaning you can't kill him, unless you're also a god. Omni-Man may qualify because he's so ridiculously powerful, but even if he killed Raiden, guess what? The gods always reincarnate, so Raiden's just coming back, which is how Fujin's in Mortal Kombat 4, despite clearly dying to Sub-Zero in mythologies. Yeah, the gods just come back. I wish Mortal Kombat was more clear about that, but the gods do reincarnate. Next up is Omni-Man Sweats. These characters would give Omni-Man a good tussle, but can't actually beat him. A great example is Ermac. This dude has telekinesis, which means he could hold Omni-Man still, for at least a little bit. I would not be shocked if Omni-Man can just overpower him somehow. So eventually Ermac would lose, I think. But also, I've never seen Ermac die. In none of the games is Ermac ever permanently defeated, because he's a cluster of souls. He's not a regular person, so even if you did destroy his body, would the souls just reform? You know what I mean? The games are never specific about this, and across all games, I don't think Ermac's ever died. So the only reason he's not in 50-50 is because I just don't think Ermac has enough strength to rip Omni-Man apart, despite the telekinesis. Next up, we have landing some hits. These characters would land blows against Omni-Man, but have a 0% chance of killing him. A good example is Smoke, because he turns completely invisible and is also a ninja, which means realistically he could sneak up on Omni-Man. In fact, in the comics and show, we've seen this exact situation, where Omni-Man is surrounded by invisible people and didn't even notice for a good bit. And those are regular humans, right? Imagine a ninja like Smoke. He could definitely sneak up on Omni-Man and land a few hits, but then he's getting blitzed immediately. And in fact, speaking of blitzed, a huge chunk of characters are going in this bottom tier, a disgusting amount of characters. Pretty much any character who's strictly physical and has weak magic is going down here, because they don't stand a chance. And I'm not joking, everyone, so many characters are going down here, it's really funny. In fact, real quick, I'm gonna fast forward and just put them all down here. Alright, there we are, every character getting blitzed by Omni-Man, from magic users to physical people who are just really strong. You're not out-muscling Omni-Man, it's just a fact. You gotta bring something else to the table than physical might. And most characters down here don't need explanation because they're jobbers. However, Sub-Zero's down here too. How did that happen? Well, you can't freeze Omni-Man. The guy casually exists in space, which is stupid cold for anybody not aware, like 3 degrees Kelvin or something like that, which is almost absolute zero. The only thing warming up space is radiation from the universe itself, and I'm not joking. So yeah, it's really, really cold. I don't think Sub-Zero can do anything close to 0 Kelvin, which means he can't freeze Omni-Man. I hate to admit it, but Sub-Zero gets dusted. His main power is freezing people, and Omni-Man can withstand extreme cold. So yeah, Sub-Zero's getting blitzed, absolutely blitzed. And then we have Rain right behind behind Sub-Zero. This character is more powerful than people realize, and I was thinking maybe he could drown Omni-Man, but nope, Omni-Man can fly between galaxies to travel from one planet to the next, and the whole time he's not breathing, so there's no way for Rain to suffocate Omni-Man, which means he just loses. It's not gonna happen. And yeah, I think those two characters are the only ones that really warrant explanation. Reptile, by the way, is going in landing some hits for the same reason Smoke is. Guy can turn invisible, sneak up on you, but after that he's dead. Alright, back to the top row. Who can beat Omni-Man? Cetrion, straight up. I don't think she's even killable unless you're also a god. She also has elemental abilities, and Viltrumites are vulnerable to extreme heat, like the surface of the sun, for example, which Cetrion might be able to do. She's a god-level being with control over the elements, so yeah, extreme heat is likely in her toolset. And then if all else fails, she gets really big and hits him with a beam of heavenly light or something. Next up, we have Onaga, but keep in mind this is final form Onaga, who is so powerful the universe itself can't contain him, and he destroys everything, including the Elder Gods. Onaga kills them barehanded after collecting all the Omnidogu and becoming all-powerful. So this version of Onaga in particular could kill Omni-Man, even indirectly by just killing the universe that Omni-Man inhabits. Alright, one more character in this tier, then we'll move on. Geras. So not only is he impossible to kill because he always resurrects, but also Geras has memories of all of his past lives, which are in the millions by the way, and he's well researched too. So in theory he should be unstoppable, but NetherRealm just has him lose fights anyway. My point is, Geras would absolutely know about the Viltrumites because he knows pretty much everything, and without spoiling too much, Viltrumites have very specific weaknesses that Geras could absolutely exploit and would likely know how to. Alright, next up is 50-50. Taven from Armageddon is so powerful that he defeats Blaze, who is stated to be the strongest being ever created, and yet somehow Taven still beats him. So yeah, that tells you how tough Taven is. Now with that said, Omni-Man is so cracked that maybe he would still win the fight because he's so powerful. Next up is Shujinko, but keep in mind it's final form Shujinko with all the combined abilities of the strongest warriors in Mortal Kombat, and also he's much more powerful and durable in this state as well, which is why he can tank some hits from Onaga. I believe this final form of Shujinko could take Omni-Man. If you're wondering why he's not in front of Onaga, it's because that's final form Onaga, who has all the Kamidogu. Next up, I want to talk about Nightwolf, because this man has magic abilities that kill god level threats, and I'm not joking. Your boy can straight up delete your body from your soul. That's an ability that he has, to just disintegrate any living matter in his radius, which unfortunately kills him too, but I'm just saying he has that ability. And even back in Armageddon, Nightwolf imprisoned Onaga, who's really powerful and also knows lots of magic, and still Nightwolf overpowered him with his own magic. So yeah, I think he could beat Omni-Man, assuming that Omni-Man's not going straight for him. Next up is Omni-Man Sweats. I want to put Liu Kang here. Some people might get mad because he's the main character, he's defeated Shao Kahn, he's defeated Shinnok, all those powerful beings. Also, Liu Kang is fast enough to dodge bullets, so he's really fast as well, or at least his reactions are fast. He might not run like the Flash, but he can dodge things that move at bullet level speed. So in theory, he could react to Omni-Man, at least if Omni-Man's holding back and moving just barely supersonic. Anyways, even with all these factors put together, I just don't feel like Liu Kang has the sauce to kill Omni-Man. I don't think it's gonna happen. And later on, you'll see villains in this top row who Liu Kang has beaten, but they're up here because they cheat, alright? They cheat, they get more powerful in the background, or they steal his soul. You get the idea. They're not fighting fair. Whereas Liu Kang always fights fair, and I feel like that's a death sentence against Omni-Man when you have Liu Kang's limitations. But hey, that's just me. Maybe Liu Kang's virgin energy and main character plot armor would overpower Omni-Man. Oh, and real quick, if you're wondering why Ermac is in front of Liu Kang, it's because he can literally hold you in place, whereas Liu Kang can't do that, so I think he'd die faster. Oh, and of course Titan Liu Kang beats Omni-Man. The dude can summon black holes, which Omni-Man was gonna kill himself with. So yeah, we know black holes are fatal for him. Next up, let's talk about Sindel. She's very wise with 10,000 plus years of combat experience and has tons of magic too, including her scream, which would hurt Omni-Man since his hearing is superpowered, just like the rest of him. So at the very least, she could stun Omni-Man, and in the show, they've hinted at a weakness that Viltrumites have, which I don't want to spoil, but possibly Sindel could exploit that weakness too. However, eventually he would kill her. Next up is Scarlet, a surprise pick, because she uses blood magic, and I just don't think Omni-Man would know how to deal with that right away. However, she's still losing. I'm just saying that that blood magic would freak out Omni-Man for a bit and make him sweat before he killed her. Next up, I wanted to talk about Ashura, who was originally going in Omni-Man's sweats, but I wonder if she actually belongs in beats Omni-Man because she knows voodoo magic. Yeah, I'm not joking. So in theory, Ashura could make a voodoo doll and just start stabbing it to hurt Omni-Man, and he would have no clue how that's happening or why. So eventually, would that just kill him? Like, no, serious question. If Ashura just keeps stabbing the Omni-Man voodoo doll over and over again, could that kill Omni-Man? Would it actually work? I'm not sure about the specifics of voodoo magic, so I guess I'll put her in 50-50, which is gonna confuse a ton of people who skip to the end, but that's their fault. Next up is Devora, who, hear me out, okay? Hear me out. She makes Omni-Man sweat because his species is vulnerable to specific diseases, and I'm wondering if Devora's venom could be used to replicate those symptoms. She could tell the different bugs in her body to evolve and adapt to make that specific poison that Viltrumites are weak to. And even if Omni-Man flies right through her and explodes her, getting her blood all over him, guess what? Her blood is toxic, and that could actually hurt Omni-Man. I don't think it would kill him, but it could definitely hurt him. And on top of that, Devora is really tough to kill. If even a few bugs survive, she can repopulate and rebuild her body. So Omni-Man would think he killed her, but she's actually alive. Alright, next up, it's time for landing some hits. I think Sector and Cyrax go here because they have so much technology, they have missiles and other nonsense, and some of that's bound to hit Omni-Man, but it's not going to do any real damage. Dagon would land some hits. He's the brother of Taven, but just a bit weaker. So you know what? Maybe he belongs in Omni-Man sweats. Maybe he just does. Then you have Havoc with his chaos shenanigans that I think would confuse Omni-Man enough to land some hits. Kung Lao is like Liu Kang, but without that main character plot armor, so he's landing some hits, then getting killed. Oh, Cabal. So yeah, with his super speed, I feel like he's landing some hits and then getting destroyed, because like we've seen, Omni-Man adapts to super speed pretty quickly. Next up is Collector. This guy has lots of magical items and scrolls and spells and stuff, some of which is bound to work on Omni-Man, but afterwards he's getting immediately killed. Oh yeah, Kenshi. So his abilities are similar to Ermac's, but they're much weaker, so I don't think he stands a chance against Omni-Man, but he would land some hits due to his telekinesis. He can attack Omni-Man without being immediately near him. And I think that's about it. Oh, Hotaru is about on level with Havoc, but does that really mean anything? Would he still get blitzed? He is pretty powerful. He's a general of Order Realm. Is he a cleric though? I think he's probably getting blitzed. Let's be real, he's getting blitzed. Oh, but Dairu, yeah, with the best unblockable in Mortal Kombat history, nay, the best special move ever made in Mortal Kombat, yeah, I think Dairu is gonna tussle a bit with Omni-Man. That tombstone drop alone is all it takes. For anyone watching who doesn't get that joke, check out this video. Dairu has the most overpowered move in Mortal Kombat history. And that's no exaggeration, it's by far the most unfair move ever made. Alright, we're getting close to finishing. I think now's a good time to round off the Beats Omni-Man tier. So first up is Shang Tsung, but keep in mind it's absolute Shang Tsung with Chronica's crown, and maybe he's also absorbed Chronica into his body. That's gonna make Shang Tsung really durable, but also he can take your soul from your body, and I don't think Omni-Man has any defenses against that, does he? Like seriously, let me know in the comments how Omni-Man would prevent that from happening, just having his soul ripped out of his body. You might think, oh, he'll just kill Shang Tsung before that happens, but from what I've seen, it's instant. Once you grab onto someone's soul and start pulling, they can't move anymore. So yeah, if Omni-Man's not careful and tries to be cocky around Shang Tsung, that might be a wrap. Next up is Absolute Form Shao Kahn, when he has the Soul Nado that makes him nearly invincible, and even the Elder Gods combining their forces with Raiden were barely able to hurt this dude. If not for Raiden's combat expertise, I think they still would have lost. They chose Raiden specifically because he's already a legendary fighter, but then combined with the Elder Gods' energy and power. It took all of that to beat Absolute Shao Kahn, so I think he stands a chance against Omni-Man. Oh yeah, Fujin, I'll put him right behind Raiden for obvious reasons, he's also a god. Oh man, next up is Quan Chi, so this one's interesting. I'm putting him in 50-50, and hear me out, okay? Hear me out real quick. Quan Chi can take control of your body and make you harm yourself, and not just for fatalities, that's one of his basic moves, to take control of your body and make you harm yourself. So here's the real question, is Omni-Man strong enough to crush his own head instantly, or snap his own neck instantly? Is that how it works? I think so, because in the show we see Viltrumites getting chopped clean in half by other Viltrumites, which to me implies their durability is much lower than their strength. So theoretically, Quan Chi takes control of Omni-Man and makes him snap his own neck or crush his own head, all of the above, right, to win the fight instantly. Does Omni-Man have a way to avoid that? I'm just saying, that's why he's going in 50-50, okay? Thanks for listening. Next up is Full Power Shinnok, who is pretty much the same as Full Power Cetrion, but he's also the god of death, and his amulet it is an automatic win, isn't it? He could just suck Omni-Man in and keep him there. Oh man, here's an interesting one, and I can't believe I waited the full video to talk about this. Scorpion actually can beat Omni-Man. Yeah, I'm not joking, he goes in the beats Omni-Man tier. Here's why. Scorpion is impossible to kill permanently. He's a specter who gets reborn in the Netherrealm every time he's killed, so eventually he could overwhelm Omni-Man. But then on top of that, Scorpion can pull you into the Netherrealm, and there's no way to escape the Netherrealm without magic. You're just stuck there. And after that, it's just a matter of time before Omni-Man eventually dies, either by Scorpion or just something else living in the Netherrealm. There's some crazy monsters down there. Oh yeah, Mocap. So Mocap's definitely going in 50-50 tier. Cool, moving on. Blaze, one of the strongest beings ever created. I'm putting this dude in 50-50 because while the games do state how powerful he is, it's also mostly physical strength and just lava, right? Which I think Omni-Man could best, but it could go either way. Oh, Noob Saibot. So here's an interesting one. I'm putting Noob Saibot in 50-50, and real quick, hear me out. Anytime, Noob could just close the portal and theoretically kill Omni-Man instantly because it's not about force at that point. Omni-Man's just now existing in two different places, which would kill him. He'd be snapped in half. And even if he can't kill Omni-Man that way for whatever reason, he could still trap Omni-Man in the void or something. Alright everyone, and there you have it. Every Mortal Kombat character ranked against Omni-Man. If you skip to the end, you're gonna be very confused, and that's okay. Just please don't get angry in the comments or post random questions. Watch the video first. I promise that I explain my reasoning for every character. So alright everyone, thanks for watching, and I hope you enjoyed. If you did, please leave a like down below. It helps my channel out a ton. And then finish that combo by subscribing and ringing that bell so you never miss any future videos. Make sure to come back next time, and as always, stay underdogs.